stay at home today.
It would probably have been the safest measure for him because there was a lot of very irritated people, especially Austin Idol is still just absolutely beside himself about what happened last week. We'll talk more about that later this hour. Johnny Rich now in control. Randy Rhoads scoops him from behind, and a count of 1.5, maybe 2 on Johnny Rich as referee Larry Brock keeps a close watch on the action.
Armstrong between he and the Tennessee Stud.
Well, that, and we've talked about it before, the hate and the tension between these two is of long-standing duration. It goes back, 6 or 7 years, actually, for those fans who followed Southeastern Wrestling over the past years. Now, Johnny Rich up with the leapfrog. Again, he leapfrogs Randy Rhoads. Ooh, what a right hand.
And now over to Pat Rose. Johnny Rich is on fire.
Good gracious. He got him right on the back of the neck. Johnny Rich has got to be out on his feet from that belly to back.
Pat Rose comes in like a wild man.
Bill Ash has come out from the dressing room just out of camera range. He's standing a little off to the side of the TV studio watching this match very closely. His own difference. Rich was ready for that one, Charlie.
But Rich is virtually helpless. That suplex took, oh, boy, you know that took a lot out of Johnny Rich.
Johnny Rich fighting for all he's worth, but the Roses have got him out at a serious disadvantage. Randy Rhoads powering him back into the corner. And now some of the famous double-team skills of the Rhoads cousins. Definitely coming into bear right now. Trapped in the corner of the Roses is someplace that no wrestler wants to be.
Look at Johnny Rich scrambling. He makes the tag with Scott Armstrong. Scott Armstrong in, putting the boots to Pat Rose. Down to Randy Rose, right to the side of the head, and to the side of the head again on Pat Rose. All 4 men in the ring.
Johnny Rich squared off with Randy Rose as referee Larry Brock tries to get some kind of order back. A big shoulder tackle that knocks both Scott and Pat Rose down on the canvas. Randy Rose, it looks like Pat Rose may be unconscious. Randy's dragged him over the top of Scott Armstrong. Wait a minute. From the dressing room, here comes Steve Armstrong. Look at this.
Wait a minute.
Steve Armstrong has reversed that. 2, 3. Look at this.
All right.
Armstrong and Pat Rose were knocked out. Randy Rose thought he pulled a fast one, but Steve beat him to the punch.
Randy Rose thought they had the match locked up.
Bill Ash now in the ring furiously protesting the referee Larry Brock, but it stands as is. A win for the Rat Patrol over the Southeastern Tag Team Champions in our very first match today on TV. What an upset.
And speaking of upset, here comes Bill Ash.
You saw it! They saw it! Everybody else just saw it! Steve Armstrong came in! That's not a word, boy! He's the rightful man! He's the man who should have won! We don't have an interview time here. We don't have an interview time scheduled here. You shut up! No, he's the man! We don't have any interview time scheduled here. Please Now, there's wrestling Friday night, December the 28th in Beulah Battery, Alabama at the Civic Center. Friday, 28th of December in Beulah Battery. Tomorrow night, the Pensacola Municipal Auditorium, it's Steel Cage night. And you'll see single action from the tag team champions, Pat and Randy Rose, as they take on the Rat Patrol. And the U.S. Junior Champion, Bill Ash, meets the Rat Patrol all in single matches. They're standing by in Studio B. Let's go get their comments right now.
Tomorrow night in Pensacola, Florida, they've split us all up. It's 1, 2, 3. First 3 matches, Rat Patrol Incorporated. And they call themselves something like the Rat Exterminators Unincorporated or something like that. Well, anyway, gentlemen, maybe after tomorrow night, you'll be the ones that are unincorporated and exterminated.
Tomorrow night at the Pensacola Auditorium, single match between the Rat Patrols and Bill Ash.
Well, you know, in 12 years of professional wrestling that I have been in this business, I've never been this mad. I've never been this humiliated. I've never been this... This is a personal insult, what was done to me. That brat rat got a world shot when I'm the U.S. champion and I didn't.
Well, I tell you what, I can't get my hands on the promotion. I can't vent my rage on like I would like to on you or the promotion or everybody else involved. But I've got one of the Rat Patrol. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter which one of those rats it is. But I'm going to get a chance to vent my rage and frustration in the middle of that ring and get some good feelings out of it when I see a broken, bloody body laying there.
Well, of course, that's coming up Christmas week in Mobile when Scott Armstrong does get the shot at the world's junior title. Tomorrow night, the Roses in...
You know, first of all, I want to say something, Rick Stewart, to you. And Mr. Ash, you're right. Where do you get off, Rat Patrol, going to the promotions and asking them for single matches? We're tag team. 6 times tag team champion. Look at here. Where do you get off, Rat Patrol? We don't go singles. Where do they get off on this, Rick Stewart? Did you have something to do with this?
I'm strictly the commentator.
Where do they get off on this? We're not single partners. We're tag team champions.
Well, I respect your opinion.
Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you people understand that?
But the fact is that your match is signed for tomorrow night in Pensacola,
Well,
1-on-1.
be damned if it comes 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. We'll take you, boys, one way or the other.
Tomorrow, Pensacola Auditorium.
Will fall.
Southeastern Championship Wrestling. I've just been talking to Mr. Olympia about some of the things that have been going on in the past couple of weeks. I wanted you to come out, Olympia, to take a look at the stretcher match that happened in the arenas between you and Arn Anderson. There was a little bit of outside interference by the Tennessee Stud.
Well, there was some interference. I'd like to see the tape myself because, you can't see much when you're carried out on the stretcher.
Well, that's true. Let's go into the arenas. This match has been joined in progress. It's been going on for some 10 to 15 minutes now. Arn Anderson had made it off the stretcher, coming back to the ring, but he's got a little somebody extra with him.
That's right. Right here you're looking at the Tennessee Stud. Now, I don't know about Arn Anderson. Has he joined the stable or what's happened? But right here...
I'd like to find out about that.
Yeah, I would like to find out, too. But you can see I got everything in control. Well, he put the sleeper. But see, I'm the master of the sleeper. Ken Lucas taught me the sleeper, so I know how to get out of it. So I pulled one of his old tricks, right? Well, Ron Fuller, look, he can't stand it. He said, it's my chance to do something. Well, I don't know he's going in, but I see it right now. Look, a little bit too smart for Ron Fuller. Well, Ron Fuller's going to get a little taste of Mr. Olympia, too. I've already beat Arn Anderson. He was carried back, and Ron Fuller, kind of helped him off the stretcher and brought him back. Well, Ron Fuller got a little taste, but right here, my lights went out.
Now, watch him adjust those tights right there. I think he hit you with something right there.
I do, too. I believe he hit me with something because I went out like a light. They could have carried me out right here from this point.
Now,
from this point, they could have carried me out because I was out like a light.
The referee, of course, was knocked down on the floor. He didn't see any of this. Now, Humongous comes down, and they put the Alabama... This is where... I remember talking to you in the dressing room. This is where your ribs got hurt. This is where your ribs got hurt. Watch this right here.
He dropped me on this belt right here. I'm out like a light anyway.
That front suplex is
right there, right on my ribs. And you don't think that didn't hurt? Yes, it hurt, brother. Let me tell you, it hurt.
Now,
and they carried me out. Yeah, I've asked
for a special match, for a cage.
I've asked for a cage match. You think he wanted to give me a cage match? No, he don't want to give me a cage match. You know what he did? He put a little stipulation in there. He says, hey, P-head, if you take that mask off, I'll wrestle you as Jerry Stubbs in the cage.
Will you do it?
Will I do it? I'll do anything to get him in the cage because, hey, it's time for a cage. It's time to end it right now. It's time to finish this. Yeah, you see me being carried off, which you don't see many times.
Olympia, I know how much that mask means to you. I know, of course, coming off the horrible burn injury that you had and the Mr. Olympia that's become the hero to fans all over the Southeastern area. It's a very, very heavy and emotional thing for you to even take off that mask.
Well, in my opinion, I'm Mr. Olympia with this mask on. Behind this mask is Jerry Stubbs. He's done a lot of things wrong. A lot of people don't like Jerry Stubbs. Sometimes I don't even like Jerry Stubbs. But I'm willing to take this mask off and wrestle him face-to-face in a cage. And if I beat you, Arn Anderson, I'm going to walk out and put this mask back on, and I want to be called Mr. Olympia by the fans, by you, Arn Anderson, because I am going to walk out, and I will become Mr. Olympia and stay Mr. Olympia as long as I wear this mask. Now, Arn Anderson, if you beat me as Jerry Stubbs, I hate to say it, but I'll be out of here. I'll be finished. Yes, I'm finished, period. Finished.
You mean we're talking retire?
I'm talking about finished. If he beats me, I'm finished. I'm through. I'll hang it all up. But I don't believe Arn Anderson can beat me in a cage match. I just don't believe it in my heart. I don't believe Arn Anderson can beat me. And so I'll take it all. I'll wrestle him as Jerry Stubbs. If he beats me, I'll hang it up.
Some very heavy stipulations regarding Mr. Olympia. We'll be seeing him in action in the ring when Southeastern Wrestling returns right after these brief words.
A profile segment of Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and what we're going to do right now is go back, and in time, a lot of research has been done this week as to what took place, the incident that took place to Austin Idol before his arriving at the television station last week. Right now, let's go on location with Southeastern Championship Wrestling and Rick Stewart.
You're looking at the blood-stained shirt of the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. It's laying on the ground of Heisler's Country Store USA, just about a mile down the road from the TV station where we tape Southeastern Championship Wrestling each and every week. Scene last week of an alleged unprovoked attack on Austin Idol by the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, by Jimmy Golden, while Austin was here at the store, and while we were actually in the midst of taping TV Wrestling, waiting on his arrival for the television main event. And I know that it's difficult for you just to be here and to relive what actually happened, but I know for the thousands of people at home that were waiting for you last week, they'd certainly like to know.
Well, Rick, I'll be quite honest with you. This is not really as hard to talk about as you might think, because it's etched in my mind like a gigantic crack in the ground that would be left by an earthquake. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. It was on a Saturday morning. I was scheduled to wrestle for a Southeastern title match on television against Jimmy Golden, as you well know. I'd gotten up in the morning. I prepared myself mentally. I was already physically prepared the best I possibly could. I had my bags packed. I went to get in my car, of course, to make my way down to the television station. As I got in my car, ironically, it wouldn't start. So, of course, I'm not Mr. Goodwrench. I'm not a mechanic. I tried to start the car over and over and again, and I finally went ahead and popped the hood. And when I popped the hood, I did notice that the coil wire on my car had been removed. So, luckily, I'd called a friend of mine. It took him about 45 minutes to round up a coil wire. He brought it over, and we got the car cranked up. Coming down toward the station, my car started to overheat now. Kind of coincidental, too. So I pulled into this convenience store here, Heisler's Country Store here, USA. I pulled in, I popped the hood, I checked my oil. My oil was about a quart low. I went in to the store, and I purchased a quart of oil, signed a couple autographs, talked to these people here. As I came out, Rick, I just put a quart of oil in my car. Here comes a van that speeded up and just slammed on the brakes right here in the parking lot. Ron Fuller jumped out. When he jumped out, of course, he was naming a few names that I can't say here on television, and right in my face. And to tell you the truth, Rick, I thought right then and there I was about ready to punch his lights out. And before anything happened that I can remember, I got hit from behind. From all these people who saw this and other people was Jimmy Golden. They knocked me down. They beat me up real good, Rick, as you can take a look. I'm not proud of this, but take a good look at the face right here. They beat me up and they left me laying like a piece of dirt right here in the parking lot. And that's exactly what happened. And there's an old saying, Rick, and it's said by the man above, and it goes like this, that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, where revenge will be mine, saith Austin Idol. And this is Austin's Army you're looking at right here.
Well, one thing's for sure, when Austin Idol speaks, a lot of people need to listen. This is Rick Stewart for more Personality Profile coming up next. Ball with a 15-minute time limit. Now in the ring at 235 pounds, Georgia's Mr. Ed Siegel.
What's the matter?
His opponent now making his way to the ring, 237, Marietta, Georgia, the Continental Champion, Bob Armstrong.
Continental Heavyweight Champion Bob Armstrong stepping in the ring with Ed Siegel. Armstrong immediately going to work on Siegel. Wait a minute.
Coming over here to run his mouth because Bob Armstrong's got a little something for him.
He certainly does, and he's letting Mr. Siegel have it right now. Into the ring ropes goes Ed Siegel, caught with the elbow, the Continental Heavyweight Champion. Bullet Bob Armstrong crashing down with a knee, going for the pin. It's over.
And another win for the Continental Heavyweight Champion. What a win for Bob Armstrong.
Today, to invite you into the home, my home, Stud Stable, as you can see by the sign up here. And I've got quite a stable. Everybody knows what my stable looks like. Exactly. And I've got a lot of things I want to say here, and I don't want to keep your time because I know that you rednecks and peanut pickers, the attention span is almost zero. So I'll get right to the point. The fines, the $5,000 fine on you and the $5,000 fine on me for television last week, I'm not concerned about that. I got more money, and Carter's got liver pills, right? So I ain't concerned about that at all. $5,000 fine also tacked on to me because of what happened to Bob Armstrong and the World Championship match with Ric Flair. Well, the timekeeper was incorrect, and that was my business to go down there and point that out to him. I did it, and they gave me a fine. Now I want to get to another point. I'm sure that our not being there at television today, there's going to be a lot of defaming of our character, if you understand what I mean. Austin Idol's probably told a whole bunch of lies about what happened last week on his way to the television station. I'm just going to let Jimmy, you tell him what happened.
I'm going to tell you the truth, exactly what happened. Austin Idol's telling you a bunch of lies today. I'm sure that he forced me and the Tennessee Stud off the road in our van at that country store down there, got out with a baseball bat and says, I'm going to beat you two guys to death. Well, it backfired on him is what happened. We beat him half to death, and I'm going to tell you something else. That Southeastern title is mine. I was robbed of it because they wouldn't let the Tennessee Stud, my great manager of all time, be at ringside, and they stole my belt. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to get it back. You be ready for that, right. Austin. You liar.
You are going to get it back. And we don't care how you defame our character because we have great moral fiber within us. Now, speaking of moral fiber, I want to induct here today into the stable a new inductee, a man who showed me in the stretcher matches such great heart and determination. It was so inspiring to me that I could have walked on cloud nine watching him go back to the ring and humiliate and destroy single-handedly by himself with no outside help Mr. Olympia. Hauled out of there on that stretcher, and Arnold, my man, you are now a member of the Stud Stable, and you will be as long as you're a winner. You've always been a winner, and you always will be. You have anything to say?
Well, first of all, I'm honored, and I love that hat. Second of all, Mr. Olympia stands for a Mr. Olympian body. I took that away from you, P-Head, and the other thing I wanted to take away from you, I did too. I took your guts away. For a grown man to lay flat on his back with those little kids trying to pull you off that stretcher, clinging, saying, no, I don't want no more, is what I finally achieved. That's all I wanted. I'm through with you. You're destroyed, Jack. There is no more Mr. Olympia.
We may finish the job before it's over. One more thing I'd like to point out. My man here, Mr. Humongous, if you can get a shot of this man, you all know his reputation, know his ability. You see, he still has his Alabama championship. He will keep that Alabama championship because I'm the greatest manager of all time, like I said before, and I am going to see to it. He keeps his championship, and Jimmy Golden gets his. Now, come on in here real close and get a good shot of the king, the manager, the greatest manager of all time, as I said before. I'm going to tell you why we're not there today. This is a form of protest, our not being at television today. We're unhappy about what's happened to us with these fines. We're unhappy about the situation around here. We're unhappy about Austin Idol, no doubt, telling lies about us there today. We are not coming to television today. Not only that, I have another surprise for you. I want to draw your attention here to the row of the champions, Stud Stable. I want you to take a good close look at it. Southeastern heavyweight champion, Jimmy Golden, and he will be Southeastern heavyweight champion. Mark my word on that. My man Arnold, he is going to destroy the legend Olympia, and you can bank on that. My man, Humongous, the Alabama heavyweight champion, not to be denied, and everybody knows it. And if you can, Mr. Cameraman, the empty chair, everybody's saying, who is that? And that is the question. My man, the man that's going to win the Triple Crown, the Continental Heavyweight Champion, will be sitting in this chair. And when he arrives, you believe you me, everybody, there'll be the shot heard round the world because this man, the man that fills this chair, is the missing link to Stud Stable. Now come right back on up here with that camera. Come on, cameraman. I want you to get a shot of three glorious gentlemen here, and the fourth to be part of the great Stud Stable. That's it. You get this up here, part of the great Stud Stable. We're looking forward to more competition, gentlemen.
dressing room furniture?
Right. 2 steel cage matches, no increase in admission. For the World's Junior Heavyweight Championship, Scott Armstrong challenges new champion Denny Brown. Then, Continental title versus Alabama title. The winner gets both belts as Bob Armstrong takes on the Lord Humongous, managed by the Tennessee Stud. And in the first of 2 steel cage matches, Mr. Olympia collides with Arn Anderson. Locked inside the steel cage for the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship, the boss, Austin Idol, defends against gorgeous Jimmy Golden. It all happens Thursday night, December the 27th, the Christmas week special at Mobile's Expo Hall. Now, there's wrestling Friday, December the 28th in Beulah Battery, Alabama. Start making your plans for that. TV wrestling here on Channel 5 next Saturday afternoon at 11 o'clock. Saturday afternoon at 11 right here on WKRG TV 5. 2 days after Christmas. It's Thursday night, December the 28th. It'll be double cage night at Mobile's Expo Hall. Standing by, we've got the previously recorded comments of the Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller.
I want all you people there in Mobile, Alabama to make mention and to take note of what I'm about to tell you. On Thursday night, December 27th, 2 cage matches in Mobile, Alabama. It's going to be a fiery night because Austin Idiot, you going down for good, and so is Jerry Stubbs, Mr. P-Head Olympia. You going down for good, too. We're looking forward to it, gentlemen. That's Thursday night, December 27th. It's going to be a big night. I'm going to get the Continental side. Look for me in Beulah Battery. You know you want to see me bad.
On the 27th of December, Thursday night at Expo Hall in Mobile.
It's a double cage. All I can tell you, Anderson, I'll be there as Jerry Stubbs, but I'll leave as Mr. Olympia, and you'll know it, the people know it, and Jerry Stubbs will be out of here in history.
Titles on the line in the cage.
Rick, they say time is the best healer. When Jimmy Golden, you're caged, Alan, you're going to need a plastic surgeon to heal yourself, baby.